It is I, Mr. Essential, coming at you once again. And of course, I have the document of essentialness. Actually, I have my trusty D&D character sheet with me tonight to represent my document of essentialness. And I'm essentially essentialized tonight because I got a lovely email from a young woman, Morgan D. She is from the South. And I did some, and she asks, Mr. Essential, why aren't essential folks like you and I being paid essentially essentialness? And I did some research, and it turns out Morgan, this lovely lady, she's essential, and her husband is a serviceman. He's in the military, which makes him essential. And her dad, he's essential. Now, her mom's retired or about to retire, but she's essential. And her uncle is essential. And her other uncle's essential. And her aunt's essential. And her other uncle, who uncle once removed, he's essential. I mean, her family is the essence of essentialness. And she's wondering why people who are the essence of essentialness aren't being paid like they were essentially essential. I totally get it. And I would answer that tonight. But that is a long, complicated answer, and it requires me to point the finger of guilt at the people who are responsible for essential people being paid essentially low wages. Because tonight, I have a gripe. That's right. I was at the official drive-through restaurant of Mr. Essential, waiting for my order. And now, my gripe is only half gripe. The other part is a mistake. I pulled in behind a minivan with a Chicago Cubs bumper sticker. I should know better than to do this, but I did it anyway. So anyway, I pull in behind the minivan of doom with the Chicago Cubs bumper sticker, and I begin to wait. And wait. And wait. And it appeared that the person driving the minivan didn't really understand the concept of a drive-through restaurant. Either that, or they had to learn to read and write so they could, well, actually just read. They didn't really need to write anything. Just learn to read so they could place the order, and as time went on and I began to notice spider webs growing from my car, eventually they got it right and they placed their order. And I placed mine, and I was unfortunately right behind them. And we get up to the drive-through window. Fortunately, they were taking credit cards at one of them, Square devices. But so I didn't have to wait for that nonsense. But we get up to the window, and suddenly it was like the clown car of fast food. They had those drink caddies with, a bunch of drinks on them. They had two of them go in with a bunch of drinks on them. And then they had these bags, and not the normal person-sized bags that people get, or the little bit bigger bag when you order for you and your friend. These were like suitcase size bags. They had they had handles. They were that big, and they just kept handing more and more stuff out there. Like I said, it was like a clown car. And by the time I got my order, I was not only ready for dinner, I was ready for breakfast as well. I mean, dude, if you're gonna order that much stuff, use the app. They have apps for that. It makes things better for everyone, including you. But no, didn't use the app. So anyway, Mr. Essential finally did get fed, which was a good thing. Oh man, that was a good thing. But anyway, now Morgan, I know you're waiting patiently for Mr. Essential's answer to your essentially essential question. I will do that tomorrow. Also, I had several emails from people in Pine Knots Drunk, and they said, Mr. Essential, we noticed you have rules. And I said, yes, I do. Mr. Essential has a lot of rules. And I will begin going over those rules from one to the end of them with my next series of posts after I cover Morgan D's delightful email. Now, the answer is going to be a little different because I try to be fun and entertaining and all that stuff. But that one is going to be more of half infotainment, half giant bitch session. But anyway, ladies, if you're interested in a man that, there may be a few red flags, not many, but a few. If you're a man with some red flags, but, who's a wealth of information, here I am. Just drop me an email, themressential@gmail.com. Also, for all of you out there, do your yoga. That's one. Take your zinc. That's two. And then you got to remember vitamin C and quinine, which is screwdriver, gin and tonic, screwdriver, gin and tonic, screwdriver, gin and tonic, screwdriver, gin and tonic. I gotta go. Later, bye.